What is going on? Today we're going to be talking about Goldlewis's block string pressure. This is my first non-Nagoriyuki guide, and there will be many more to come, so if you're looking for high quality informative guides, this is the place to be. Feel free to subscribe and maybe join the Discord to participate in viewer games, ask me questions, suggest video ideas, and get notifications of future streams and videos. Link below. Let's get into the guide. First things first, let's define the individual Behemoth Typhoons. First, we have 41236H, which is a launcher for combos, but should really only be used for pressure in the corner because of the high reward. Whereas in mid-screen, you don't get any conversion because they're launched so far away. This is plus 12 on block. Next, we have 63214H, which is a safe way to end pressure. It's also used to hit confirm off any hit for a combo, and this leads to a far knockdown. Later, we'll be talking about a similar move with a closer knockdown. Next, we have 23698H, which is a frame trap tool and is plus 3 on block. This launches on hit for very high reward meterlessly, and on counter hit, you get even more. Next, we have the opposite, 21478H, which is a side switch launcher. This is a fast low, and it's plus 3 on block, but the problem with using this in mix, weird even though I just turned this off, is that if the close slash is faultless defense, then this completely whiffs, so it's not very reliable in pressure. This is, however, used in side switch combos. Something simple like that. Next, we have 69874H, which is the other safe way to end pressure, which is -5. As you can see, the knockdown is way closer, so you get way better Oki, and this also confirms off any hit, as I just showed. Very similar to the other move, just harder to input, but better Oki. Next, we have 47896H, which is a slow, long-ranged overhead, and it's plus 12 on block. It also bounces on hit, so it's much more reliable mid-screen than the other one we showed earlier. And also has good conversions in the corner, but not as good as the other one. Next, we have 87412H, which is a slow startup, short-ranged low. That is plus 16 on block, but it is not safe. They can jab you at any point during this, and it should really only ever be used after a close slash for high-low mix. And the alternate is 89632H, which is the fast overhead, and is a very important frame trap tool not only for close slash, but on a variety of buttons, and you are plus 12 on block. So the best way to format this section is going to be showing block strings off specific normals, and there's no better normal to start with than close slash, which is Goldlewis's strongest normal. Close slash is -2 on block, and the main two options you want to be going for are the fast overhead, which is plus 12 on block, which will also clash with 3 frame buttons, and it will give you a favorable trade into a combo. And the other option you're going to be going for, mostly you want to go for the overhead, but second of all, you want to go for this low, which is plus 16. But once again, the startup on this is very slow, so you can get jabbed through it. So you want to condition them to not mash by frame trapping with this. Next, we have a straight up like 1 or 2 frame trap in 5H. So close slash in a 5H should just beat everything and lead to a massive combo. Another reason for the opponent not to mash. Next option, close slash, walk up, and close slash. You can also dash. Or what am I talking about? Okay, so close slash, walk into more close slashes, and then alternatively, close slash, walk into grab. Next, we have a delay frame trap where we can go this into far slash. This is nothing new with any of the characters. And then either of these buttons will once again frame trap into 5H. And lastly, just a safe string. You can just do close slash, far slash that, or close slash 2S that. That's your safe string, gapless. The next normal we're going to be talking about is far slash and 2S. They are -7 and -9 respectively. They work very similarly in the way that you pressure with them. The difference being that far slash can be 6-speed and 2S cannot, and the coffin is entirely disjointed. The 2S is slightly slower though, so you have to balance between them. So from a far slash or 2S, your frame traps really only work at range, like behemoths. So like if you're at like a farther range, then this will frame trap because the coffin is entirely disjointed. So you'll catch a button like a 6K. Caught it. But if we're up close, that'll be true. I'm getting... I'll do a 2S up close so you can see what I mean. There we go. We got hit. So you really need to be at range for this to be like a true frame trap, but that doesn't mean you can't go for it if you're up close. Not everyone has a soul 5K. So our main two ways to frame trap are going to be to, number one, this, which is the +3 launcher, big reward on hit, and once again, the overhead, which is +12. And you can also 5H if you're close enough. And if you're looking for a safe option, you can just go into 63214, and that will be gapless. Next, let's talk about 5H and 2H, which are -2 and -15 respectively. We're going to have the exact same options from the far slash, being the two frame traps of this, which is +3, and this, which is +12. But we no longer have a spacing issue. We can actually do this from any range up close. We're not going to be hit by Souls 5K. And of course, we just do this to make it safe. No gaps. And once again, it works off either of these. It was a little slow that time. Next, let's talk about 6H. So this is -14. So once again, if you can be punished, they're in range to punish, you're going to want to cancel this. The safe option is just going to be the normal thing. If you're close enough, you can see right here, I'm not getting spaced enough. If you're close, you want to do it with that. At max distance, you can just call in a drone, and that's very safe. And lastly, if you're feeling risky, you can just throw out an overhead, but once again, it is range specific. Next, let's talk about our K buttons, 5K and 2K, which are -7 and -5. So from either of them, you can go for a 2D for a frame trap. And once again, we have the Soul 5K going on here. This will frame trap anything and lead to a massive counter hit for big damage. You can also go for an overhead, but it's not going to be safe. And next, 5K into this is a true string, but 2K into our safe option is not actually safe. There is a gap in there. It will frame trap, which could be a good thing or a bad thing. Next, we're going to be talking about 2D, which is -10, very unsafe, and that pretty much means you're always going to want to cancel it, and you have three main cancel options. So first is the 236, that's going to frame trap, that leaves you +3 on block, and the other one is the overhead, like before. If I can input it after a low, it's kind of difficult. There we go. And that would be +12 on block and also frame traps. And lastly, the one you're going to be wanting to do most of the time is just being safe. No gap. Our final button is going to be 5P and 2P, which are both +3. You can frame trap by going into the usually safe option off either of these. That will frame trap. And you can also reset pressure and beat moves that are slower than 7 frames by just going straight into far slash. Like that. I am not going to be going over combos on converting some of these hits, but this final section will cover some options you can do with all these plus frames you're getting. So the first situation we're going to be talking about, which is probably going to be the most often situation, is when you are +12 up close, and this is most often seen from close slash to overhead to the fast overhead. So first you can frame trap by doing a 2S or a 2D. I recommend doing 2D. Because you get the big counter. Next, you can just straight up true string, no gap, into far slash. You can see that time the hit did not come out. And then from there, you can go into Behemoth for a guaranteed chip or whatever. And lastly, this option is going to beat backdash, and will also just beat blocking low and missing a button. But we're doing this into this. And that will work on backdash. That will work on a whiffed button. This won't work on 5K, which is why I'm not using 5K here, because 5K is a 3-frame anti-air button. Works on whiffing a button. And finally, on block, you're completely safe. Next, let's talk about when you're plus 16 up close. This is only going to be seen after a close slash into the low. First, you have 5 HS as an auto-timed frame trap. Sorry about that. Boom, big counter hit, massive damage. Next, important to know, once again, we still have the 5K on. That far slash, 2D, and 2S are all going to be true strings unless you slightly delay them, then they're going to frame trap. Lastly, it is possible to 6-6 close slash as a true string, like I actually just did right there. But most of the time, you're probably going to get a delay. Let me do it again. Or, sorry, most of the time, you're actually going to get a frame trap like that. But it's nice to know that it is actually possible to get the 6-6 close slash in. Technically meaning, I'm going to set it to none here because I don't have confidence in my ability to do this, that you can just do this. That kind of pressure. We have a little post-recording edit, so that same setup that I showed before to catch backdash also works on the low option. Next, if you're plus 3 and up close, and this is probably going to be after a close slash into a fast launcher, you can bar slash for a frame trap. Boom. Or you can backdash to bait something like a DP. Like this. Which you can't actually punish because it's soul. There you go. Next, we're going to be talking about the mid-ranges. These mid-ranges are often defined by maybe getting a far slash or running far slash at around this distance. So on both plus 12 after the overhead and plus 3 after the launcher, we're going to have the exact same situations. Or we have the exact same options, rather. So, number 1, we have micro dash into a far slash or a 2S, which is going to beat any button. At that range, they're not really likely to use a 5K, more likely to use a standing S, which we absolutely crush on both of them. Oh, there we countered, but because I was a little slow. We're going to absolutely crush both of those, and another frame trap that's also just straight up safe to DPs. First, let's show that it's a frame trap. Boom. It's also safe to DPs due to the disjoint, so... and to punish, because we clashed to the DP. Lastly, let's talk about being plus 12 when you're far away. So this is going to happen after a long-ranged Behemoth. Because you're so far away, plus 12 isn't enough advantaged frames for you to actually continue your pressure. So you're going to go for some setup things, maybe. So first, we can go for a drone to maybe get in. And next, we can just keep playing the poke game until we have another opportunity to get in. To end this video, I'm just going to show some example sequences so you can see the information from this video in action. I hope you all learned something. Once again, please join the Discord if you want to participate in viewer games. Ask me questions, suggest video ideas, and get notifications on future streams and videos. Also, consider following me on Twitch and Twitter. All links are in the description. Until next time, bye-bye.